Today is 859 day that I'm here lessons to learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about feeling behind. Have you ever felt that you are a bit behind? Or maybe you're constantly feeling a little bit behind? And what is the reason that we're feeling behind? So today we'll cover 10 things, 10 reasons why we might feel a little bit behind. Because if we feel behind, that will create a lot of stress, anxiety, and we need to work on really to making sure that we fix the cause of feeling behind. Because of course, we're never behind. We always are able to improve. We understand where we are and taking actions. So of course, it could be like temporary, but that we're not supposed to feel behind because that creates extra stress that it doesn't allow us to really moving forward. So always we need to be really present, understand where we are and what we need to do to get where we want to go. So number one, like reason why we feel a little bit behind is overcommitment. So when we look into our schedule, it might be that we have like 100 things on our list and we'll not be able to do all those 100 things. And now because we create unrealistic expectations and we overcommitted ourselves, we thought that we were able to do it. Now we'll start to feel behind. So the number one thing that we're able to do is not overcommit, and by really looking into our schedule. So when someone asks you to do, or when you look into to add something, you're able to reflect, okay, how long it will take my current fix? How long it will take? Because a lot of times when we overcommit is because we have no idea what we have on our plate. We have no idea what we have on our plate. And when we really reflect and be aware of what's going on, we will say no to other things because otherwise we'll do just a little bit of everything and we'll never accomplish anything. And we always feel behind. Number two is lack of prioritization. Lack of prioritization, and that's exactly this, that you put energy a little bit in one thing, put a little bit of energy on another thing, and you have 10 things just a little bit done, but nothing done whatsoever. And prioritization and being able to do something when you finish. So it means you do one thing, you finish, second thing, you finish. And that's why it's very, very important to understand, like if you have a list of 10 things that you need to do, which ones are the ones that really moves the needle forward? Which are the most important things that if you really achieve them, the day will be successful. So when you have 10 things, you need to be able to really sit down and say, like, which ones are the most important. That's why it's planning very, very important, because you're able to prioritize based on urgency and priority. Of course, you need to make sure that you always focus on priorities, not urgencies. Now, of course, sometimes you need to balance between the priorities and urgencies. But if you all the time do just urgencies, at some point you always will feel behind because you never do the priorities. And there's a massive lesson could be about it altogether. Number three is poor time management. Poor time management. That means that it really have a lot of inefficiencies in your time. So that means that you have 10 things to do, but you finish one thing and then you have like wasted hours of your time on multiple things that really doesn't do anything whatsoever. Maybe even scrolling through social media for an hour or two or three, and after that you feel behind because now you wasted 3 hours of your time. So being able to really reflect on your schedule and look into really budget your time and really say like where I waste my time. As we have like money budget, understanding where we use our money, exactly the same supposed to be with time budget. We're supposed to say, okay, where do I use my time well? Because the time is a resource. So that means that it runs out. So we need to be able to really say that, do I have inefficiencies? Do I have some leaks in my budget? And maybe I need to fix those leaks and make sure that I don't waste my time anymore. Number four is very, very important, is procrastination. So that means a lot of times people have a lot of time to do all the things that they want, but because procrastinate for 4 hours and starts working not right away, but right away in 4 hours. Now, because you lost those 4 hours, you feel that you're behind because you have like 10 hours to do something. Now, instead of 10 hours, you have 6 hours. And that procrastination creates a feeling of you feeling behind. When you feel behind again, you don't start right away because you already feel anxious, stressed, and it delays even more. And after that, you start when only 4 hours left, and you're massively behind. Even though that sometimes you just need not 10 hours, you need like 5 hours focused time to make things happen. Sometimes even 4 hours. But now, like when we are very, very distracted, sometimes we do something for 10 hours. And now because we think that okay, this probably doesn't take 10 hours, so I will delay and procrastinate. And at some point you start to feel that you are behind. So procrastination is really a big thing in feeling behind. Number five is unexpected events. Unexpected events. So that means it might be that you're on the path, you're doing a great job, you're working, and then something happens that you need to really leave your job and really go to something and do something very, very urgent. But now, if something happens, it will not happen every single day. So that means, of course, you're able to be more gracious to yourself and compassionate. Say, this is just one time thing, and be okay with that, and coming back where where you left it. Not say, oh, I'm behind now because of this and this and this. No, like you just need to really be okay to accepting that unexpected event happened. I accept it. Now, like where I am now, what we're left behind, and okay, let's look into what I'm able to do now to really catch up and really make sure that I am on par where I want to go. Number six is perfectionism. This is a big one as well because a lot of times people really want to do like 10 tasks in a day or in a week, and they focus on first two tasks for so long because they want to make it so perfect. And before they moving to third, fourth, fifth, they're just working on those one, two so well, so perfectly, even though that is not as important to make it perfect. It's just nice. It needs to be done. Because a lot of times we need to ask, is it needs to be done or it needs to be done as good as possible, as perfect as possible? And a lot of times these tasks that we need to do is just to get it done and move to the next. Get it done and move to the next. And that's very, very important. So perfectionism is really making us sometimes feel like we are behind because we focused on things that maybe sometimes did not matter just to make it so nice and perfect that at the end of the day, it doesn't add tremendous value. Number seven is inefficient resources, lack of resources. It might be that you really don't have time to all the tasks. It might be that all the things are priority, all the urgencies, and we don't have time. I don't have money, I don't have energy, don't have some kind of resources. So that means we need to start asking how I'm able to really improve resources, how we may get more energy, how we get more money, how we get more time. So it means when we have more, let's say, when you want more time, that means maybe something that you do that you're able to deduct or subtract, or maybe able to ask someone else to do something for you if there's an opportunity for that. So it means that you're able to delegate your work to get some time back for yourself, that you focus on other things, that you don't feel behind in your business or whatever you're pursuing. So it means being able to delegate to get time back, or maybe invest in something that or work extra hours to get more money that you can move forwards in other ways. So it depends that what kind of bottle you have. Maybe you don't have energy because you don't exercise and you eat shit. That is important as well to make sure that you take care of your body, take care of your soul, take care of your mental and emotional state. So all those are resources very important, and we need to understand what is missing that might be hindering your success and hindering your productivity and focus. Number 8 is unclear goals. Unclear goals and unclear tasks. Clarity is one of the best way to really into focus on productive work. But if you don't have clarity and are unclear about your goals, unclear about the task, unclear the things that need to be done, of course, then you will feel behind because you just do a little bit of one thing, a little bit of the other thing, and you just constantly doing something, but without clarity, there is no productivity. So that means rather than finishing some activity in 1 hour, when you're not clear about activity, it could take after 5 hours, even more. And because you spend like on small activities that could potentially take on 1 hour or 5 hours, you will feel behind. So clarity is always when you really taking on a task, activity, or goal. We need to understand that do we have a clarity? What needs to be done? And then pursue that. Number 9 is burnout. Burnout. This is important as well. That means that we might feel that we are a bit behind because we're constantly in stress, constantly anxiety, constantly in a lot of work that really drains our energy. Because I truly believe that burnout is doing activity a very long time that drains energy. At some point, you are told at zero, and you have no energy whatsoever, and you're still trying to drain out of zero. So then you see, it's like if your phone is totally dead and you're still trying to get some energy out of it, at some point it just, if for a person, it burns out. And I truly believe that that's why it's very important to make sure that you're doing something that is energizing you. Because if you're energized and you feel energized all the time, there's no chance to burn out. So that means that every single day we're supposed to have some kind of balance. Or we able to need to quit something that drains our energy, or we need to start adding something in our day that could increase our energy to another level. Because now if you increase your energy by 20% every single day, and you decrease by 50%, so you still have 5 left. Now, if it happens that you increase energy by 20, but you decrease by 25, at some point you might go to burnout because it's not sustainable. So it's very important to understand, okay, what do you do on a daily basis, and how much some things that you do elevates energy, and what things is decreasing and draining energy. And if you see that, okay, I'm much more drained, it might be that you are going up to burnout. Number 10 is ineffective communication. Ineffective communication, and that might be that you're doing something with other people. So if you're not able to communicate what needs to be done, and what can be done, of course that could create delays. It's very, very important to be able to really communicate, and communicate just to yourself as well, and the family members, to make sure that every single person who are who are stakeholders, or who are the people who included in the process of activity or goal, they know what's going on. Because when everyone is on the same page, the sales are much more smooth. Because if people are in different directions, it might be that it will create a lot of waves, and it's really, sailing is not that easy through the tough waves. So communication is very, very important to make sure that you don't feel behind. So I hope that you will reflect as well how many times you have felt behind, and maybe you feel it now. And now look into what is making you feel behind. And when you know that, maybe you're able to start working on it to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Or maybe it happens, but not as often. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.